If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
Well, yes, it is. It's me, Christine McIver. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am very excited about tonight's show and looking forward to hearing what you have to say. You can actually join us live at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room, where you can comment, have a lot of fun with the rest of the participants in the room, ask questions where I'll be answering them live, and just really get the whole energy and focus of what we're talking about tonight. So I am an optimization coach. I am someone who works with entrepreneurs and individuals that desire to become entrepreneurs and really have them take their time and take their creations, make the most of it in the world, especially online, how to optimize both their time, their energy, and their investment in their business and in all of their creations. If you're looking to start your own business, if you are in your own business and you'd love it to actually grow for you with much more ease and certainly much more pleasure, you need to reach out to me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. I would love to support you. It's one of the things that when I'm working with an entrepreneur and really showing them the possibilities and how easy it can be, it lights me up. And I believe that every single solitary person should be doing what lights them up. All right, let's get into tonight's show. Tonight, we're talking about honoring your ideas and dancing as they change. Your ideas are like precious gems coming to you as gifts for your future. Sometimes, though, as entrepreneurs, we can get so attached to our ideas that we refuse to see when they need to change. Have you ever been like that? Have you ever said, this is the idea, I finally have a freaking idea, this is what it's going to look like, the end. And you become so focused on it that you are actually making it concrete. You're not allowing the changes that desire to come through. Are you willing to dance? Are you willing to dance with your ideas in the directions that they desire to go? You and your business are partners in the dance of creation. And in being partners, your business desires for you to succeed and flourish. What holds up the possibilities is often you, the entrepreneur. Now, whether you believe this or you don't believe this, I want to get you to suspend your doubt for a few minutes, spend some time with me as I share some really potent stories about what went on and how things can be so easily changed and contribute to your investment. And when I talk about investment, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about your investment of time, your investment of putting your heart into your business, your investment of your belief in yourself, your investment of your belief in your business. We are investing all of the time, and most people are only thinking about the investment of money. But money is actually secondary when we're looking at our business. It starts first with us and our contribution and our investment in the time that we spend and the amount of time that we take to develop ourselves, be present with our business, be present with our ideas. I know a great many people that they get all sorts of ideas and then they get incredibly overwhelmed. Have you ever felt very, very overwhelmed by your ideas? Have you ever felt like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting all the ideas. There must be something wrong. There must be something wrong with me. How can I have all of these ideas and nothing is getting completed or nothing is actually coming to fruition? It's not actually out there. It's not actually contributing back to me, even though it is out there. All sorts of things like this go on in our business around creation. And that is something that is, it took me a very long time to understand what was really going on. And I've worked with so many different clients that have been in that place, both I don't have ideas or I have too many ideas. And what you want to know is that your brain, let's say you've never ever been in business before, and you've just started this business, this is your first business, and you are either not getting what you think are ideas, or you're getting too many ideas. In either case, your brain is going to try to take care of you. Your brain is going to try to protect you. And oftentimes, what that ends up looking like is sabotaging thoughts are going to come through. So this is really important for you to understand this out of the gate, is that your brain is going to try to take care of you, and your brain is going to try to sabotage you. It's going to sabotage you in ways that make you believe there's something wrong with you. It's going to sabotage you in ways that's actually going to have you believe, this isn't for me. I'm actually not happy. So when you're overwhelmed, how happy are you? Right? You're not. You're not happy. And when you're not happy, you're going to say, this must not be the thing for me. I thought business was a great idea. I was going to get out there and I was going to do all these things. And now I'm just like, I'm so overwhelmed and it's too much for me. I don't know how to do it. All of these doubtful questions come up. And then you say to yourself, well, if I'm supposed to be doing what makes me happy, and this certainly was me, and I've talked to a number of clients, this was for them. If I'm supposed to be doing what makes me happy, and if I'm happy, I'm going to make money, that means that because right now I'm not happy, I'm not going to make any money. So I should just go back and do what I did before. Oh my Lord. Hands up. How many of you can say for sure that you have been in that space to some degree? That you have felt like, oh my gosh, this isn't going smoothly, therefore I should stop. It happens. I want you to know that you're not alone. This happens to every single solitary entrepreneur. Doubt is an ingredient that is always going to be with you. And part of the reason that we have doubt, somebody in the chat room says, oh, almost all the time. And another one of our participants says, oh, I'm actually a Jekyll and a Hyde. Yeah, you are. The thing is that doubt, if you can start to understand what doubt is and how doubt is actually contributing to you, you can start to move out of that really paralyzing energy and move into the energy of creation. Doubt is always going to be with you. Doubt is going to be beside you each and every day, having you question what you're doing and having you question if you're actually safe. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about question. Now, we know that if we really want to understand, we need to ask questions. So what if the questioning from doubt is a way to give you more insight into how to create your business and how to create your ideas with ease? Now, this is part of the dance. We haven't gotten to the ideas of yet, but this is part of the dance, is learning to move through the challenges of being in your own business and learning to move through and dance with the changes that are happening. So I want you to remember this, that if you, let's say you wake up and you're in a great state of mind. Okay, you wake up, you're in a great state of mind. This is going to be a good day, right? And you're going along and all of a sudden you think everything's great and something occurs. You get a crappy email, or you're dealing with customer service somewhere and they upset you. You get a bill in the mail or whatever. And suddenly, because of the circumstances outside of you, you shift. And now you're in a bad mood. Now you're not doing well. Well, immediately what our human selves will do is we will go into focusing on that problem. And we're going to miss out on the fact that we desire to have success in our lives, and we throw away all of the things that we know will actually contribute to us. And some of those things, one of the best things, is really constantly looking at what is it that I desire? And having the knowing that, number one, the universe has your back. The universe always, always, always has your back. Whether you're calling it God, whatever you say, Mother, Father, God, the universe, I use the word universe, whatever it is, the greater energy in the world always, always has your back. And you as a human you always desire more. Now, where we fall down is when we get into that doubt energy. And when we actually look at what we desire and think that's too big. That's too big to ask for. It's not. It's absolutely not. And so whatever is occurring in your life, you get to see, okay, I'm in a great space. And okay, this has happened. So now I have a choice. I get to choose. Am I going to shift back, or am I going to allow that energy to keep me there? Learning to dance is knowing that you consciously get to choose where you are at. Choosing is the dance. Consciously choosing, saying, nope, I'm going to choose beyond this. I'm not going to allow this setback to hold me back for the rest of today. I'm not going to allow this upset to control my next conversation, to control the rest of the time that I have in this day to create what I want to create. When you get down that dance, creating with your business and creating with your ideas becomes so much easier and a hell of a lot more fun. So if you're someone that is feeling overwhelmed and that you're stuck in doubt, I would love you to send me an email. I actually have a 3-part class that I put together all about doubt, and I would love to share it with you. It's a gift from me to you. It was one of those creations a number of years ago that spoke to me and spoke to so many people. So it's what you'd be listening to is a live class and other people talking about it. And I would love to share that with you because, allowing doubt to stop you is actually one of the ways that you don't learn how to dance. So you can send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca, and just put the word doubt in the subject line, and I would be happy to send that back to you. So let's keep going here. So we are talking all about the creation and the honoring your ideas. So how much do you judge your ideas? Do you judge your ideas? Can I get a, yeah, me? I judge them. So when an idea comes through, what I've seen a lot of people do is they immediately start putting it through that filter. Now, because we are so much about presence online, which I love, the downside to that is we are comparing ourselves continuously with what other people do. And I want you to understand that that's not going to go away. The comparing yourself to other people is not going to go away. It's kind of the partner in doubt, all right? That is going to be part of your experience, comparing yourself to others. But when you become conscious that I'm comparing myself to someone else, that's when you make a choice to say, you know what? I don't need to do that. I'm an individual. I have my own ideas, and all of the prosperity in the world is available to me, just like it's available to someone else. So acknowledge that straight out of the gate. Okay, yep, sometimes I'm comparing myself. Now, when I'm working with individuals, and I remember a client in particular that she had these ideas and she said, but that's not going to work because of this. And that's already been done. So-and-so has done that. And they're doing all of this comparing, this huge comparing, when these ideas were really coming through to her. Here's the thing, as I said earlier, is your business is your partner and your ideas are the creation from your business. When your business came to you, it came to you because you had the energy that it could come through you so it could create greater in the world. It's not a coincidence that your business came to you. I could not believe when my business started to really bring me these different ideas and bring me these ideas. Like, honestly, I thought I was so arrogant, and I really thought I was fooling myself when I thought about actually having my own online radio platform. So it started out as a radio show, and then it morphed into, a podcast and a TV platform. And the distribution on this and the interaction, now we have summits that we're doing. It blows my mind. Like, Christine McIver, who grew up in a four-corner, don't blink, little country girl from Ontario, this blows my mind. But guess what? I have to be willing to receive what it is my business is desiring, because I asked for my business. I ask for success, and I ask for things to be a contribution in the world. You see, one of my big asks is to make a difference in other people's lives. And this was what came to me so it could come through me. I have to be willing. Are you willing? Are you willing to receive the ideas from your business? And are you willing to learn how to dance with them? These are some big questions. And they're not light questions that I want you to just throw away. I want you to sit with those questions. Please write them down and spend some time thinking about those questions, because they can be game changers in the success of your business and in the joy that you have in your business. Okay. We are going to go for our first break. Don't go away. We've got a lot more I want to share with you. If you are on Facebook, we are going to now invite you to come over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room. If you are on TikTok, I also invite you to do the same. Here, we're going to be continuing to ask more questions and invite you into seeing that you can learn how to dance with your ideas and really make them grow. So you're listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm really excited about our next segment. So in the first segment, if you missed it, you need to go back and listen to that. But we were talking about how many people have many ideas or no ideas, and how the brain can actually go into protecting you, and you really dancing with the energy of doubt more than dancing with the ideas and the creation. And it can pull you out of actually doing what can contribute to you and what can light you up. Now, what I want to go to right now is, and it seems quite simple, but if you're a regular listener or viewer of my show, you know that I often go to the original definition of a word. And that's what I want to do right now. I want to go to the original definition of the word dance. And it's not very different than what you would think, but the specific words that they associate with it, I think, are very cool, especially with tonight's show. So the word dance is a noun, and it comes from the 1300s. And it is, the definition of it is succession of steps and movements, commonly guided by musical accompaniment. So just get the first of it, a succession of steps. So what is a creation? A creation is a succession of steps, right? So as your business brings you ideas, and oftentimes brings you opportunity with those ideas, your invitation is to actually begin to go through the succession, the steps of succession. So as you are doing this and you are allowing the information to come to you, you're going to start to really expand into those ideas. Okay, so let's take an example. You get an idea, right? You get this idea, and what you got an idea about starting this business of yours, right? And you got very excited. I've referred to this so many times. If you've been in business for a little while and you're starting to maybe feel defeated or you're feeling frustrated, spend some time, close your eyes, and go back to that moment of creation. That moment of creation when your business was starting to be born within you. Go to that moment, because that moment, you can bring the energy of that moment to you right here, right now. At any time, you can tap that energy and just pull that energy forward as you go through the memory of that. So as you do that, and you're back into the energy of the excitement of the creation of your show, and then, or your business, and then you start to look at the new ideas that's coming through, you're going to be more open to it. And why? Because energetically, you're going to be higher on the emotional scale, right? The emotional scale up here is absolute pleasure and joy, and down here is like death and suicide. And we are somewhere on that spectrum all the time, and we're changing. It's moving all of the time, each and every day. So if you are down in frustration, you want to maybe even move up into doubt. So frustration is lower than doubt. So you want to move up into doubt. So if you start to question things, know that you're moving up that scale, which is great. So now you want to, as you begin to think about the moment your idea to start this business was born, you're going to start to move up that emotional scale. And as you move up that emotional scale, I want you to imagine that there's walls around you. And the walls start to come in closer and closer as you go down that emotional scale. It's like you start to contract, and it gets really heavy, heavy energy. Well, as you move up that emotional scale, the exact opposite starts happening. Those walls start to move out, and you start to have more space. When you have more space and you're in a better emotional place, you're more willing to look at the possibilities of an idea. So the skill here, my friends, is if you want to learn to dance with your ideas and you want to learn to dance and expand your business, you've got to get yourself into a great emotional place so that you can be open to receive. Because not receiving is one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs are having. You have to start to receive ideas before you start to receive clients and before you start to receive money. So this is so, so important that you want to get into that receiving space. Okay, so you're in that receiving space and you start to get ideas. Now, one of the things you want to do is, as you get ideas, go in, don't be sitting at your computer. Don't be sitting at your computer with your ideas, or looking at your bank account or anything that has you feel that you're not in the right place. Go do something fun. Go do something fun and invite your business to go with you. So just say to your business, hey, we're going to go have some fun, and go out, go for a walk. One of my favorite things, especially in the summertime, is to go play on a swing. I love to swing. I'm going to be swinging until whatever age. I absolutely love to swing, because what does the energy of being on a swing do? Is it takes me back to being young and playful and not worrying. You see, what most of us are doing is we're worrying. Worry is those walls coming back in again, and you're not in that space of receiving. So if you want to dance with ideas, you've got to get out of that space. So go do something that's fun. Go swimming, go skiing, go have a laugh with a friend, go watch a funny movie, maybe go dancing. That might be fun. Do that, do something fun. And what you're going to do is you're going to open up that energy, and that energy is going to start to receive. So after you've done something fun, or even during, and be willing to receive ideas, tap back into that energy after you've done that play thing, after you've done that fun thing, and start asking your business, literally ask your business, so what would be fun for us to do today? What would be a fun creation? I ask my businesses all the time, And I certainly did in the very beginning feel like I wasn't getting these ideas. And when I started to invite my business in the creation of it and being open to hearing it, I started to dance with what it was asking me. All right. Now, your business isn't going to literally say out loud, do this. But what you may find is that you will get a thought. That's one of the ways that your business can speak to you. Or you might see a lot of different things, maybe different posts you'll see on social media, or suddenly you'll hear something different. And these things will start to repeat themselves. The ideas that are trying to come through you will repeat. And here's the gift. When these ideas repeat 2 to 3 times, that's your signal. That's your signal that it really is time. It's time for you to begin to create that. Now, what happens when you are in judgment and you are desperate, where you feel like you don't have enough money, where you're going into this huge doubt and worry, and you're feeling a great deal of pressure? And this is what a lot of business people do when they get this idea of starting a business, is they go out and they look at what everybody else is doing, and they try to do what they're doing because they see what they are doing, they are being successful at. Now, I'm going to ask you to really take that very, very lightly. Of course, you're going to look at what other people are doing and maybe get some ideas, but then you've got to be willing to tap into your own business and your own ideas, because it's going to come through you differently. It's going to come through you differently, and it's going to want to be created differently with you, because you are a different energy. You are a very different energy than any other person that's going to do that business. And when you actually allow yourself to show up with your creative ideas in your energy, they are going to expand beyond your imagination. So it's very, very important that you are being willing to connect in with your ideas. And then the next thing is, write them down. Write down your ideas. Have an idea book, or have a piece of paper, or even, on the wall, I have a whiteboard, and write your ideas down on the whiteboard and allow them to grow. Think kind of like plants. Like, you pay attention to them every day, you kind of read them every day, and then you're asking, okay, I wonder what wants my attention today. And so as you do that, these different ideas are going to start to get stronger and stronger. Now, sometimes you're going to receive information and you're going to think, that's nuts. So it's a long story, but kind of my process was, I was doing my own show. I started my own show, a radio show. It started out as a radio show in 2011. And through different reasons, I went into business with someone, and they decided, after we started a different show, that this individual did not want to continue to do business. We signed a year contract. That year was very difficult. When you're trying to do a show with someone that doesn't want to be in business anymore, and then they were kind of going in different directions, it was very, very challenging. At the end of that year, I was like, okay, I'm done. I never want to do radio again. 2 weeks later, I went away to a training. I came back after 5 days, and I asked my business, what do you want to focus on? And I heard in my head, radio show. And I was very upset. I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this. That was not successful, blah, 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 blah. And then, thankfully, I caught myself and I said, stop it. Just follow the energy. You see, what you got to remember is, you can always make another choice if it's not working for you, but be curious. Be curious. When you are dancing with your ideas and you're dancing with your business, you've got to bring curiosity with you. So I said, okay, let me see what this would be like. So I had contacted the company that I was doing my show on, and I said, hey, I think I'd like to come back and do a show. And so it was a really good energy with this person. And I'm like, okay, so let me try this. And so I did. I started doing that. And within just a couple of weeks, the owner of the company said to me, have you ever thought about producing? And I'm like, what? So here's a big thing. Dancing with your ideas is being open to be curious and discover what these ideas might look like. Do not say no. Take no out of your vocabulary when it comes to creation and ideas. You didn't know what peas tasted like until you tried peas. You don't know until you try something what it would actually be like. You don't. And you don't have a crystal ball to see what that idea, how that idea can actually contribute to you. So please be willing to try it on. Please be willing to dance with the idea and see if it can be a contribution to you. Well, here I am all those years later, and not only am I a producer, but now I have an international company. That this is what we do, is we have a production company, and I have team members, and we're talking to people all over the world, and we have hosts. We've had hosts from so many different countries. It's wild to think that if I hadn't caught myself when I said, no, that would not be fun. If I hadn't caught myself, this creation wouldn't be here. And all these amazing people that I've had the opportunity to not only support, but enjoy and work with, they wouldn't have been part of what's been created here at Inspired Choices Network. So do you see how one little change in being open to dance with your idea can contribute to you? It makes a huge difference. Okay, oh my God, the time is flying. We're going to go to our second break. Come back, because I want to teach you the next segment in learning to dance with your ideas. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, thank you so much for being here tonight. We are talking about honoring your ideas and dancing as they change. So what I want to dive into right now is, what does it mean to actually honor your ideas? What does that look like? Honoring your ideas is giving it love and attention. Honoring your ideas and honoring the ideas that come to you through your business is paying attention. I want you to think of your ideas like your babies. If your babies are crying, you're going to give them love and attention. That's a way that you honor them. When someone that's important to you comes to you and they want to have a conversation, maybe they're not happy, or maybe they're excited about sharing something with you, you stop. You stop what you're doing and you give them the time and attention that they're desiring. If you can begin to look at your ideas in a way that they are trying to get your attention, and you stop and you give them your time and your attention, that's the way that you are honoring your ideas. And spending time carving out even just 15 minutes a week with ideas is an absolute fabulous way of giving them the nourishment and the attention that it's going to take to actually allow them to grow and prosper. So that's really something that's so, so important, is to start there, is honor your ideas. When you get an idea, do not go into any kind of automatic program. Don't tell it to somebody that, isn't one of your greatest fans. Don't share your ideas with people who are business professionals, and they send it through their thoughts and they go, oh, that can't be successful, or for these reasons or that reasons. Here's the thing, until your idea is at a stage to really share it with someone, until you're really strong with that idea and you've given it some time and some attention, you can't even articulate it. So when you're in that space, what happens is, when you can't articulate it and you haven't got a sense of it, not an understanding, but just a real strong sense of that idea, when you take it to someone else, immediately what they're going to do is they're not going to be connected to it. So they are going to look for, and oftentimes people that love us, they're going to look for the reasons why it won't be successful. And here's the thing, it's not their idea. So they're not going to get the sense of it like you get the sense of it. So that's one of the really important things in honoring your ideas, is don't let them be shot down by anybody else. Don't let them be shot down by anybody else, because they're still growing. It's like taking your baby out and showing people how your baby can walk, and your baby's still like a month old. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet to be able to do that. So you spending some time with your ideas and nurturing these ideas and really just being in that play energy. And one of the things that is dancing with your ideas is really go crazy with the idea of, oh my gosh, and if I did this, maybe I could do this, and then I could do this, and write those ideas down, get connected with the possibilities. And maybe the wildest idea around that creation doesn't come to fruition, but maybe it does. I never, ever, ever imagined that my idea of producing and saying yes to that opportunity would ever morph into this. I never could have, I didn't have any concept of this at all. But I was curious, and I was willing to learn about it, and I was willing to be with the idea as it was unfolding. Are you willing to be with your ideas and nurture your ideas as they begin to unfold? So that's a very, very important thing, is honoring, spending time with your ideas, is honoring it, and then dancing as they change. So here's the thing, is that you are a human being and your mind, based on your past experiences, based on the people around you, the community that you live in, the education that you've had, you will get an idea, and your brain will start to bring information to the surface around that idea. And so you will say, okay, that idea is supposed to look like this box. And so, even in being open to the idea growing, you still have your previously formed thoughts about ideas and what that idea would look like. You just do. There's no right or wrong. It's just the way that we all are. So if you are not open to change with this idea, it actually can't grow. It can't grow, and it can't actually morph into what really could be a huge contribution. So remember, we were talking about questions earlier. So ask your creation. So what would be fun today? And what would be a great contribution in the world? What would be a great contribution for the business? And it's not about asking a question and getting an answer. It's about being willing to ask a question and being willing to be open to receive some ideas. Now, when you are in this space, and this is very, very cool, is when you're in this space of possibilities, and you're asking your business for contribution, and you're asking the universe to contribute to you financially, you're asking for the universe to connect you with people who can support you, you may be so surprised, and I know you'll be pleasantly surprised at the opportunities that come towards you. So I actually had a reading done with someone many, many years ago, and one of the things she said to me is, and this was just the best thing that was ever said to me. She said, you are going to say no or ignore a lot of opportunities that come your way. And I was like, Hell no, I'm not, because I was in that space of just starting out with my business. And, I was living from paycheck to paycheck with the business that I had had at the time. And things were really difficult. And I was really, really worried. And when she said that to me, it was nearly like I challenged myself to say, okay, you need to be open. You need to be open to receive. You need to be open to these ideas that are coming. You need to keep your eyes wide open and really pay attention to different things that come into your world. And so I did start to do that. And I'm not saying that I didn't say no to a lot. Maybe I already did. Maybe I ignored a lot of different opportunities, but I can tell you it started to change my mindset. And it's so interesting because when I first started out, I thought I had no ideas. Nothing would come to me. It was just wild and incredibly frustrating. And I thought, okay, well, nothing's happening here. Like, I'm not really expanding. Things just seem very, very difficult. And I thought, okay, I have to go back to working full time for someone else. And it was definitely not something that I wanted to do. And so as I started to play in these different energies that I'm really inviting you to consider, and they're available to every single person, that's when the opportunities started to come. And that's when the ideas started to morph into different things that I couldn't have even imagined. So this is something that, as you are willing to dance with new opportunities, they will come. Now, let's talk about the ideas and about learning to dance as they change. So sometimes you're going to get an idea about doing something. Let's say you're creating a website and you've got the ideas on what you want it to look like, and you start to create it, or you hire somebody to create it. And as you're looking at it, it doesn't have the excitement that you had imagined originally, or it doesn't have the invitation of what you would like to have out there. And you're frustrated. And you keep going back at it, and you keep putting more money to it, and your frustration just continues to grow about it, because now you're looking at the money that you've invested in it, and it's not returning to you. One of the absolute best things that you can do is step back from it. Step back from it and give it a little bit of space, and be willing to receive some ideas, be willing to receive some new communication about what is asking to be put on your website. Sometimes what we do is, when we get an idea, we start to go into the push energy. I know I've done that. I worked with many clients that they're like, I want this and I want this now. How many of you feel like that? That you come up with an idea and it's like, oh, finally I have an idea, and now you start to push it and you push it. Well, you know what? When you're trying to push an idea, a creation, think of yourself as an artist. It's not going to create in a beautiful, beautiful way. So what you want to do is you want to give it a little bit of space and maybe give it some time. And as you are doing that, what you're going to do is you're going to open up again. Remember about those walls? When you're in that push energy and that determination energy, the walls can actually start to close in. Open up to the possibility that something needs a little bit of space and a little bit of love. And when you are in that space and you are willing to receive that information of a different possibility, that's where you can start to receive some new ideas and some new thoughts. So try some new things. Be willing to try some new things. I used to say to my clients all the time, I want you to imagine that you are walking up to a buffet table, and there is, hundreds of different pieces of food, types of food on that table. And you look at some of them and I absolutely know I do not like spinach. I'm not going to try spinach, but I have no idea what that is. And because I don't know what that is, I'm not going to try it. How many of us do that? I don't know what it is. So we automatically go into protection mode, and we don't allow ourselves to try it. We don't allow ourselves to taste it. We don't allow ourselves to experience it. This is where you want to be willing to experience and try something new. That is me with far more than just food. Yes, because most of us have believed that we need to protect ourselves. And most of us have believed that it's not a safe world. And that is just not true. Don't come at me. There's a lot of crazy things out there. Absolutely. but it is a safe world in your world with you and your business. Your business came to you so it could come through you. I want you to keep remembering that. Remind yourself of that. Maybe put that on a post-it note, because your business did come through you, to you so it could come through you. And it's desiring to contribute to you. Are you willing to receive from your business? And are you willing to open up to it possibly changing? So I can tell you that with some of my ideas that I have had is I have started to create them, and then I really wanted them to come into life and wanted them to start to contribute. And so what I did was I started to do them even faster, and I followed through with them, and then they didn't really contribute back to me. I've had different classes, I've put on different events, and they didn't contribute back to me. And I was like, well, what's wrong? I'm getting these ideas and they're not happening. But what I can tell you now, being on the other side of more than 10 years of being in my business, is that each of these things that I tried have contributed to me, but not in a linear way. You see, us humans in our minds, we are very stuck on, if I do A, then B will happen. And that's not what actually occurs, especially in business with ideas. So sometimes when you get these ideas, they're going to want to go in another direction, and you want to be willing to play with them going in another direction. You also want to be willing to allow them to grow to a certain level. And if they're not asking for more, allow them to rest. They're not done, they're resting. So I was talking about this actually earlier today. A number of years ago, I had written a book. I had this book is 3/4 of the way done, and it stopped. The energy on it stopped. The desire on it stopped. There was just no more like pull. There was no more of that going on. And for a while, I really went into the wrongness of me. Like, I'm shitty at this. Like, I'm never going to have a book. Like, what's wrong with me? I went into that terrible, shitty thinking. And I just allowed it to be. And of recent, I've really been looking at it and wondering about it. And as those thoughts start to come back in, guess what? It's starting to wake back up again. And the time for that book, it appears, is coming. The time that it wants to really come out into the world, it's coming. And it is, yes, exactly, Karen. It is very exciting. But I can't push it either. I can't say, oh, it's awake, it wants to get going again. No, I have to allow it. And so it'll come up in conversations, or I'll overhear people saying different things. And that's my message from my creation, that it wants more attention, more and more attention. So when you are willing to allow your creation to expand and grow and really go out into the world at its pace, not your pace, it can contribute to you so much better. Because here's the downside. If you are, music all of a sudden playing, if you have a creation and you suddenly go into pushing this idea out there, it is going to fall flat on its face. It's not going to contribute in the way, because it's not ready. Just like that baby, it's going to fall down. It's not ready yet. So you want to be with these ideas. And as you learn this stepping, as you learn how to dance with these ideas as they come, you are going to find yourself, I am positive, in the space where I am right now, where there's so many ideas, there's just not enough time in my day to bring all these ideas to fruition. So what you'll see is, if you were here in my office, I have a book and I write in my book. I also use my computer, but you can see different ideas will be down, and I'll be going through as I'm completing them, and there'll be more ideas. And so I don't go into overwhelm about these different ideas. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, cool. And I will write it down, and I'll write it down. Part of really dancing with the idea is choosing to write it down and allow that idea to really come forth in its time, in its time. So there are steps and there are movements with your idea. And that's the part about dancing with those succession of steps and movements. Understand that when you're going to do this, when you begin to do this, you're going to get more ideas and you're going to have a lot more fun with your business. Now, this is not to say that, if you're in big doubt energy, that immediately that's going to change. It takes some time and it takes some work on your part. One of the biggest things that occurs when you are in your own business is you personally have to grow, and you personally have to be willing to develop yourself. As you learn to develop yourself and you learn to invest time in developing your business sense, your thoughts, your the way that you show up in the world, the way that you show up in business, if you're willing to stretch yourself, guess what's going to happen? Your business too is going to do the exact same thing. Your business is going to grow. Your business is going to expand, but it cannot expand faster than you do. Your business cannot grow and expand faster than you do, because you're the person who has to receive it. And if you're not in that space of growing your business because you've grown yourself, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So one of the greatest things that you can do for your business, for your bank account, for your own pleasure is continue to grow you, continue to develop who you are, continue to challenge yourself to be the absolute best version of you. Be willing to dive into these doubt moments. Be willing to look at what's been holding you back, where you maybe are on the emotional scale, where you continue to repeat the same things. Be willing. And your willingness is again, those walls opening up so that you can expand beyond that limitation. You, my friend, have the ability to have the most thriving business and to have so much pleasure and joy with it. And when you begin to do this, when you begin to play with this, it can make all the difference in the world. Now, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling overwhelmed that you can't do this, this is absolutely what I do with business owners. I love to do this. And we have a program. I have a strategic planning program. It's a package that you and I would work together one-on-one, and we would start to really implement these behaviors. And I would really challenge you and kick your butt forward into more pleasure and success. And to me, you need to have pleasure in your business so that success can come along. Most people think you got to have success first and then you're going to be in a pleasure space. And that's not true. That is absolutely not true. You're fooling yourself if you think that. So listen, it's so important that we really look at this and we really are willing to have the business and have the pleasure in our business by developing who we are and learning to dance with who you are and learning to dance with your show. So I hope that you really got something out of tonight's show. I hope that for you, whatever is coming up in your business, that you're willing to have even more come to you. Next week, I have a special guest, and I don't have that many guests very often. So next week, I have a special guest with me where she's actually going to be my guest co-host next week. Her name is Milica Jelinek, and she's one of the other hosts here on the network. She's also a dear friend and someone who does business very differently than I do, definitely in a different realm. And we're going to be talking about next week's show is how to alleviate business impotence. And we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to also give you a lot to take to the bank, as we say, so that you can grow your business. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone so much for being here. If you would like to send me an email, please do so, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. If you would like to learn more about what I do, you can check out my website, inspiredchoices.ca. Or if you would like to check out the library, you can go to your favorite podcast platform and you can search Inspired Choices or just search Christine McIver. You'll find me there. Of course, you can find the whole library with all the TV episodes here at Inspired Choices Network. You can catch us on YouTube. We are seriously everywhere. I want to invite you into having more pleasure with yourself and with your business. And I really, really would love to hear from you and hear about what your challenges are. And, I give everyone a 15-minute conversation, and it's surprising how much change can actually be developed in a 15 minutes. So again, send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. I want you to remember that no matter where you are in your life, where you are in your business, where you are with your business creations, you have the ability to always, always make another choice.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.